Hey, what's going on, guys? Jake here. Excuse me for my terrible looking hair. Yeah. Messy hair, don't care. Hey, so what's going on? How's life for you guys? Everything's going okay for me. I think everything's going pretty good. So I actually had a request that I wanted to ramble about. It was, what chapter do you think God is, ushering in your life right now? And that's a really good question. As you guys know, I like to talk a lot, so I feel like that, there's a few different things. I guess let's just jump right into it. I feel like one of the most prominent things, God is trying to teach me right now is that I really need to focus on what I'm doing. I feel like, as I explained to you guys in one of the past videos, that I felt like I was living life on autopilot. And sometimes I still feel like I do that. In fact, the past, 2 weeks ago, I lost 5 pounds, and I was so proud of that, and I was so happy, and it really didn't take that much effort. I was just watching what I ate and the amount of what I ate. And then a week later, I'm very busy with school. I kind of turned on autopilot a bit, and then I gained back half of that. And it's like, wow, that's pretty sad, because all this effort, and just to gain half of it back, it's just like, why? And that's the thing. In terms of losing weight, I have a lot to go. I have a long road until I get to my goal. But the point is, progress is progress. And so even if I lose 1 pound in 1 week, that's still a success. It's still a victory, So, I think right now that's one of the biggest things right now, is that I'm living life on autopilot, and I'm trying to keep life off of autopilot. I'm trying to really focus in on what I'm doing, what I'm saying even. I think that's one thing that's so odd, is that I never used to stutter on my words, and I never used to, I used to always be a great speaker, and all of a sudden I'm stuttering on my words. I'm more awkward, when I'm speaking to people, and it's really odd because it's really not like me. That's something I'm also trying to work on too. And I really think it all has to do with focus. I think that I'm just not focused. I'm not focused on what I'm doing. I go to class and I write down what the professor says, but I'm not actually retaining what's being said. And so I'm happy that today I just got back from class. I'm really happy that I was paying attention. In statistics, we were, going over what do you call it? See, now I don't know. I don't really know what it's called, but it's section 1. It's section 7.1 in my textbook, and it has to do with there's this many students in a sample, and you have this amount of it's you're finding the average of the probability that they give you, kind of thing. So, and then in history, which I obviously love history because I love Dynasty Warriors, we talked about Stalin from Russia, before World War II, and Tulalsky and Lenin. And wow, I never really knew that Stalin was just a terrible person. I mean, I always knew that it was Adolf Hitler and Stalin, and they were, and then there's Mussolini too, and they go buddy-buddy. They're both, all three of them are terrible, but I didn't realize that Stalin actually killed more people during his, reign than Adolf Hitler. So, but either way, so I retained that, and that's good, but so that's, I guess that really concludes. I gave some examples, so that really concludes. I mean, I think that's one prominent thing that God's trying to teach me right now, is that I really need to get off life off of autopilot, and I need to focus in. And that's the thing. I'm a person who's I'm very general. I speak very generally. I don't typically give specifics. And I think the reason for it is that when I give specifics, I talk a lot. And I know that most people, they don't necessarily want to talk a lot, And so when I was younger, I thought, okay, well, when I talk about specifics, I was combining statistics and specifics there. But, when I was younger, I figured, well, people don't really want to talk too much, and I don't want to talk too much, so let me just be general. And that's the thing. That goes into my next, topic that I think God is trying to help me with, is that He wants me to break old habits. I think that that's something that I'm really struggling with, is breaking old habits. One example is every night before I go to sleep, I play my 3DS for an hour, 2 hours, or sometimes even 3 hours. And that's a long time. And it's really not healthy to be looking at a screen that's lit up. But more than that, it's really not healthy to be playing the same game over and over. I'm going to tell you guys the amount of hours I have on, each Pokemon game, because it's not to make you say, oh, wow, Jake, you're a loser. It's kind of just to show you the severity of how bad this habit is. So like Pokemon X and Y, I think I have 600 hours on. And Pokemon Platinum is my highest, it's the game I've played the longest. And it's, it's like, my mom's pulling into the garage, and I don't even think she realizes that I'm here. But what's it called? So, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought because of that. So Pokemon X and Y has, Pokemon X and Y has like 500 or 600 hours played. That's a long time. And Pokemon Platinum is my highest played game, and I don't even know how much that has. I think Pokemon X and Y is like my third. So that means there's something even above that. And listen, I love Pokemon. I think pretty much everybody who watches my videos also like Pokemon. But I think that we can all agree with, there comes a time where you're honestly just playing too much Pokemon. And that's this time. And I mean, to be fair though, because I'm sure a lot of you are like, holy crap, that's like way too many hours. To be fair, there are many, many times that I play when I'm falling asleep, and I actually leave the game on because like I fell asleep with the game in my hands. It's funny. I would wake up sometimes with my hands like this, like holding the DS, and literally it's like my parents would take it out of my hands and close it, but I would be like, and then I'd just go back to sleep. But there are many other nights that my parents don't do that anymore, and my DS just stays on until it dies, with the game just, at a pause. But the point is that racks up hours. And again, I do that very often. That's like every other night. I wake up and my DS is blinking red because it died. So I have to charge it throughout the day, and then when I come home, whatever, at night it's fully charged and ready to go. That is one bad habit I'm trying to break. And it's probably my biggest one. And it's, I'm not entirely sure on how to really combat it. I mean, one thing I've been wanting to do is, I'll be like, okay, so how about, tonight I'll play Pokemon or Animal Crossing, whatever it is, and I'll play it for like a half an hour, and then I'll, like, write my book that I'm writing for a half an hour. Or, I try to make like accommodations with myself, and I never wind up following them. And I don't know if it's just that I'm lazy or I just don't want to or whatever. But the point is, I really want to stop having to play video games just to fall asleep. And it's really not a good it's really not healthy, especially when I sleep on vacation or if I sleep at somebody else's house. I usually wait for them to fall asleep, so then I can do my thing and play my game and then fall asleep that way. And again, it's just really not a healthy habit. And that goes into me taking, I don't know what you want to call it, like, not supplements, but like medicine for like sleeping. Not medicine, but like they have like sleep drinks, and they do have sleep medication. I took one last night, and that's why I went to bed at a normal time. But regardless, I shouldn't have to take that, and that's the thing. It's also screwed up ever since high school, my sleep schedule. In fact, I actually went to a sleep study, and the doctor said that I have a circadian, malfunction, or dissonant rhythm. It's my sleep clock is off. You go to bed at, 12 a.m. or 11 p.m., you sleep 8 hours or whatever, and then you wake up at 7 a.m. And most people do this, or 8 a.m., whatever. I've completely messed mine up. So what I do is, and right now it's almost 1 o'clock, it's 12:45. Right now I'm going to go into my house. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into my house. I'm going to eat something. Then I'm going to go to my room, lay in my bed, play my 3DS, nap until 5:30, 6 p.m. That's a long nap. That's 5 hours. It's really not even a nap. It's a sleep. Then I'm going to go to my doctor's appointment at 6. That's 6 to 7. Then, at 7, I'm going to eat dinner, come home, waste my time saying, oh, I should study, or I should write my book, or I should read the Bible, doing things I want to do, but instead I'm just going to go on my laptop and watch cat videos of cats, knocking over glass jars onto the floor. And it sounds funny, but it's sad, because I do that. I do say, oh, I really want to go to the gym. I really want to read the Bible. I really want to write my book. I really want to write music. I never do those things. I do them in place of something that's easier, that requires less attentive, mindfulness. And that's stupid. And again, that's me going on autopilot again. It's funny how all these things are connected. It makes sense, but it's just, it's just so stressful. And it's like, well, at what point, how do you change? You know what I'm saying? What do you do to get rid of that? Do you go cold turkey and just say, okay, tonight I'm just not going to play any video games when I'm ready to go to sleep? Or, do I say, okay, well, should I set a time? But that's the thing. Here's the problem for me. When I set boundaries, I start to crave them after I stop. And then it just makes me explode. So tonight, if I say, you know what, I'm only going to play my 3DS until 1 a.m., right? And then I'm going to go to sleep at 1 a.m. If I even stay up till 1:30 tossing and turning in my bed, I'm just going to say, screw it, grab my DS, and then I'll be up till 5:30 a.m. And that's really bad. Usually I go to bed at 2 or 3 a.m., which is still really bad. But, it's like I crave it. That's the thing. My parents always say, Jake, don't eat after dinner, don't eat at night. And I try, and then I'm up at night starving, and then I just wound up eating everything. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is now I've kind of taken it into my own hands. I have tea, and I have like half a PBJ, or a biscuit, or I don't know, I get a handful. They're dried blueberries. They're actually really good. So those are things I'm working on. Is I guess to sum up because I've been rambling about rambling. So to organize my thoughts as to what I've been saying, I feel like God right now has been telling me I really need to work on self-control, being mindful and, attentive, And I think being, strict with myself, I think that that's something, being more being responsible. So being responsible, attentive, and, crap. I was on a roll there. I was on a roll. I was really like doing good. Yeah, but I think you guys get the point. Yeah, self-control, attentive, and just more, maybe even like more motivation too. But sorry, I got it. Attentive, mindful, and having more self-control. There we go. Well, attentive and mindful are kind of the same. No, not really. Not really. Okay, so yeah. So I still got 5 more minutes I could put into the video. I'm trying to think of what else, And I think that's the thing, is that, here's the last one. I think that there's one more. Is that I think God is trying to tell me I really need to rely on Him and trust in Him. And there are going to be things that I want to do that don't make sense, but I really have to just do them and fight through them. And I think that's the biggest thing. So to answer, for the last one, I think the most prominent is that God is trying to teach me that I need to fight with God against all my fleshly desires and all of the things that bother me. So I'm about to get really personal. I believe that everybody who watches my videos are adults, so I guess I'm willing to share this. Especially because this is a problem that nobody talks about. But if we don't talk about it, it's never gonna get anywhere, and it's gonna explode. And so that's not good either. So one thing I've been struggling with is that I've been watching, let's just say, content that I probably shouldn't be. And I think that you guys all get the hint at what I mean by that. And I never pleasure myself, and hopefully you guys know what I mean by that, but I just watch it. So I don't do anything with it, but I just watch it. I know I'm speaking between the lines, but I'm hoping you guys, if you guys really want, I can say it in a private message, but I don't really feel comfortable saying it out loud. But I think you guys get the point. So I'm watching content that I probably shouldn't be watching, but I don't do anything with it. So most people do something with it. I don't do anything with it. And I know that's weird. A lot of people say, well, that's counterintuitive. And that's the thing. I've never done anything like that. So I've watched the content, but I've never done anything with the content. And people don't normally believe me when I say that, but it's true. So that's something I've been like, all right, just, stop watching it, just stop. It's, and I was doing good these past few months, but all of a sudden there was one urge. I was just like, you know what, let me just watch it. And then it's just terrible. Then I'm watching it for an hour, and it's like, well, what's the point? It's like, why am I watching this? Another thing today, and this is actually really crazy that this happened, but so usually when I throw up, or at least like a year ago, if I throw up, it's like, okay, let me just take the rest of the day off. Let me take a sick day. But this is where I'm starting to notice good change. So today for some reason, I've been getting anxiety in my statistics class, and I don't know why. And so I get in the car, I'm driving, and for some reason when I'm driving, that is the worst time because, I'm focusing on driving, but I'm thinking about all these different things. And so I got to class and, I got, I'm like thinking. And so I'm driving to class and I'm getting myself even more anxious thinking about all these things. And then, so I'm thinking about all these things, and then I actually pulled over today. I was like, and I got a bag. I have a bag in here, and I was like, I'm about to throw up. I gotta pull over. That's how bad my anxiety gets, to the point where I'm gonna vomit. So today I pulled over, and I was like, I just said, Jesus, please help me. I just want to go to school and learn just like normal kids. And I don't think that I can afford to miss another class. And especially statistics, I'm struggling very badly. So I said, oh God, please help me. Please, be with me. And so I prayed and I felt better instantly, actually. But it goes in waves. So I was like, okay, let me keep driving. So I drive, I get to the parking lot. I'm like really like, I'm still struggling, but I'm like, let me just keep going. I have to keep going. I'm walking. I get to I'm outside the building and I'm like, all right, I'm about to vomit. So I start quick. So my breathing is getting really high. It's going. Actually, I'm breathing in so much that I actually taste blood as I'm walking to. That's how strong, because I'm having essentially a panic attack. It's weird. I'll explain this in another video. But I literally can taste blood. That's how bad, my anxiety is getting, because I'm sniffing in too hard. And I'm quickly walking to class. I'm going up these, stairs. I get to the bathroom. There's nobody in there. I run into the stall and I just start gagging. And actually I gagged so hard that I thought that I crapped myself. And that's how hard I was gagging. So then, nobody's still in the bathroom, so I go out, I grab the garbage can and I sit on the toilet while I have the garbage can over my head. I start gagging more, and then it ends. And I'm like, okay, I didn't crap my pants, so I can still go back to class. And, I didn't throw up either. I was just gagging. I didn't throw up. Nothing came out. And I said, okay, why did I feel this way? And there was no answer that came into my head. I said, well, okay, let me go to class then. And you know what? It's not a big deal what just happened. If I get anxious again, I go back to the bathroom. And then even if I do throw up, if I crap my pants, that's a different story. Then I have to leave. But I mean, you know what? If I throw up, I throw up. And then I got to go back to class. I got to continue my requirements for the day. And I'm so happy that I'm doing that, because that's been a change I've been making in my life. Because normally, if something like that happened, I would just go back in my car and leave and lay in my bed and could be completely unproductive and just sleep away the day and then just waste my day. So, I'm happy I fought through it. And that's just one example of, I think God is telling me, Jake, when you need me, tell me, and I'm going to be there for you. Because then guess what? After that, I went back to class and I felt fine. I felt completely fine. It's like, how does that make sense? I don't even understand. Because you guys are saying, because many of you do, from what I've heard, you can relate to some degree with the anxiety. But of course, only I can relate to, my feelings. And that's the thing. Most of you are probably saying, well, why did you want to throw up in the first place? The question is, the answer I have to you is, I don't know. I'm just as confused about this as you are. And that's the thing. People say, oh, well, get over anxiety. Well, how do I get over it? Or they say, oh, it's all in your head. You're right, it is in my head, but throwing up is real. And that's not something that I can control as of right now. That's the thing, too. I hate when people say, get over anxiety. It's like, what if you're missing an arm? Like, how do you say, just get over not having an arm? It's like, it's the same thing, it's just physical versus, psychological. But they're both very valid. And I think that's the thing, too, is anxiety isn't taken, as seriously as it should be. Anyway, I've been talking a long time. I really want to continue talking, but maybe I'll just do like a part 2 of this one. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to end the video here. So just to sum up everything, because I like to keep everything organized. I definitely think that God right now is trying to tell me I need to, organize my life and be responsible. So being responsible and taking more responsibility for the things I do and the things I say. Also being more mindful, about what I say and what I do. Keeping my life off of autopilot and really living life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and and lived, and there are going to be hard times, but that's part of it, and you learn from it. And then the biggest one is fighting through life and all my hardships and anxiety, with Jesus, and I can go to him when I need to. So those 4 things are currently the things I truly believe are, and resisting fleshly desires, and it doesn't even have to be what I was talking about, even like food too, so it could be all kinds of things, or playing video games, excessively. So I think those 5 things sum it up. So I want to thank you guys so much for listening. This was a very interesting video, because I don't know, if you guys don't understand what I meant about watching about watching videos that I shouldn't be watching and how I don't do anything with it, I can explain to you in a private message, but I think that most people are adults here, and I think that you get the drift of what I'm talking about. And so, anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I'm so happy you guys enjoy these videos. I hope this was a good one. I'm sorry that this one was a bit long. It was really long. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are so awesome. And, please share me, your experiences and at what point in your life do you think, by the way, not everybody who follows me believes in God. So, at what point in your life do you think you need to improve on, or that you're trying to improve on? Or, for the people like me who do believe in God, what do you believe that God is trying to tell you to fix right now? Or what are things, what chapter of your life are you in right now, do you think? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.